leadership of the Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, CALSER, welcomes you all to the State of the Nation press conference to address some of the issues of national importance in the country with regards to the senseless and barbaric attack on clergies and humanitarian workers in northeast Nigeria by the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist groups. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights is alarmed by the way and manner the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist groups has intensified attacks on unarmed and innocent clergies and humanitarian workers rendering services in northeast Nigeria. All of us must rise up and condemn these callous acts. It should serve as a wake-up call for all concerned stakeholders to begin to put heads together towards ending the unscrupulous activities of the Boko Haram and ISWAP activities in northeast Nigeria. It is indeed unfortunate that despite the efforts of the Nigerian military in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria, some groups and individuals are not happy with the gains made and have consequently constituted themselves as clogs in the wheels of progress by providing the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist groups with logistical support in furtherance of their evil agenda against Nigeria and Nigerians. Ironically, the Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, CALSER, has it on incompetent authority that some local political organizations, as well as religious bodies, are covertly providing tactical support to the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist groups, all in a bid to undermine the efforts of the federal government of Nigeria. This trend is totally unacceptable, and it is advised that urgent steps are taken to arrest this decline before things get out of control, because as it stands, the Boko Haram and ISWAP groups have been emboldened to carry out attacks on soft targets, now especially on women and children. That should be of great concern to us. Students, clergies, as well as humanitarian workers, the genuine humanitarian workers, because of the tactic support it has been receiving from both internal and external sources. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, CALSER, also wishes to use this medium to call on the European Union and the representatives of the United Nations in Nigeria to speedily audit and caution international NGOs in operation in northeast Nigeria to stop the supply of arms and ammunitions and other essential items to the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist groups with immediate effect. This is on the heels that many pieces of evidence indicate that some European countries have been covertly selling arms and ammunition to the Boko Haram and ISWAP group using fronts. The European Union Commission, in the interest of fairness, must act and deal decisively with its member countries that have been providing support to the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist groups. If this is not done, our center might be indeed convinced that the European Union as a body might be aiding and abetting the propagation of terrorism in Nigeria. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, CALSER, wishes to state that Nigeria must be ridding of terrorism, and quickly so too, and it behoves on all well-meaning countries, groups, and individuals to extend their support to Nigeria by doing what is right at all times, and at all times begins from now. We're no longer comfortable with all the loss of life, especially that of women and children and the youths